Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The iconic Paul McCartney got back live. A once-in-a-lifetime must-see event. Paul McCartney performing a catalogue of music that's formed the soundtracks of our lives. Casey Centre, October 14th. Get tickets now at highvtix.com.
Oh, yes. Mom, Dad's being weird again.
Luscious.
Honey.
So full.
It's just grass.
Oh, it's so much more than just grass. It's a healthier, greener, and more luscious lawn. Yours can be too.
Look at you.
With Kabursky Brothers Lawn Care.
Remember, no shoes on the lawn. Because you're so beautiful.
Call or click today.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by cellular advantage.
We're ready for a Wednesday and glad to have you with us. Keith Murphy, Andy Fales, Matt Van Winkle in for Andrew Downs today. And Andy, that Circa commercial that we played before we start here, the head of Circa looks like the coach on the White Shadow. You remember him? What was his name?
Is it Robert? No, something?
Is it Ken Howard?
I was too young for that show. I didn't see that. Yeah, that would have been right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, I couldn't wait to watch it. A show about basketball, and of course, it wasn't really about basketball. There was very little basketball in it, but to me, it was a show about basketball, and those characters all had unique names. They're probably all in their mid-20s, supposed to be in Washington Carver High School. Salami and gosh, I have to look up some of those names. Let's get to the Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines, setting the table for sports and more here on the Murph and Andy Show. Coming up, Cardinal in Ireland. So Cardinal in the land of green. NFL Today throwback, and Mr. Movie returns, we hope. Knock on wood, or whatever this is in front of me. Guest House Tavern and Oyster has nightly specials, including tonight. You have Walleye Wednesday tonight. That's fresh walleye and salt and vinegar fries, my favorite, for $20. Right now, high or low since the last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Kinds of good advice up there at Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax for whatever your financial questions are. You're talking about your retirement accounts. You're talking about taxes, just how to make your savings accounts work as hard as they can for you right now. Tim Hawkins and crew are the guys to call. I'm going low today. I know there are a lot of people out there that feel the same way that I do. It's time for the kids to return to school. Love them. Still living vicariously through them as they enjoy summer vacation, but it's time.
It's time.
It is time. I mean, I'm literally inventing things for them to do right now, like chores around the house to keep them busy and off screens, and somewhat engaged and helpful and responsible. This is why summer camp became a thing way back in the day. It's not what it used to be, and I think that's a real shame. But
I miss summer camp. It was great.
I went to summer camp sometimes I'd go 3 times a summer. And I would go. We'd go to a YMCA camp, and then there'd be a sports camp, and then I'd have the regular summer camp, which was 3 weeks, and then we'd be shipped off to my grandparents' house.
any camp
up to Wisconsin. Like my parents were just constantly like sending us out like carrier pigeons, just
go somewhere.
Go, take this here. And it kept you engaged for the whole summer, and you know you really didn't have a lot of downtime. So it seems impossible to believe at the beginning of the summer that you would be ready. Even as a parent, it seems crazy that, you'd be, oh man, it's great. My kids are off. I'm going to get to see them more, and they're going to have all kinds of fun, and it's just going to be a really fun summer. And like, a couple short months later, and you're like, all right, time to get back to school.
I think the kids feel that way too. They may not completely say it or agree, but I think they get ready to go back to school and get excited about that.
I agree. I think they do too. And I did too. I mean, you miss your friends. You got exciting new things to look forward to each year. It's my daughter is getting ready to go into ninth grade, which in West Des Moines and some other suburbs doesn't really mean you're going into high school. You go to a ninth grade school. And then in other districts, like ninth grade is just part of middle school. So it's not like it was when I was in high school. It's just like high school was, freshman, sophomore, junior year, all in one building. That was high school. It's a little complicated, but she is going off to Valley Southwoods, the ninth grade school. And so she's a little.
That's a huge school too.
Ooh.
Yeah, like all of them are in one school. I mean, just concentrated,
it's like
boiled
the size
down
of
in
one
school.
high school wherever you go.
I think
my daughter just got her teacher assignment. She's going into first grade, so she's getting more excited every day for school to get back started.
Yeah,
the teacher assignment, that was a big deal too.
Yeah. Elin got her schedule the other day, and it's like, man, it's like 8 periods long. It's switching up a lot, a lot of moving around. But yeah, it's time for them to go, and I think they're ready to go, and just brings harmony to the family. Teachers
I hate
probably don't feel the same way.
Hate to double up on the Wednesday hump day lows, but I'm going low here too. I had a really nice lady in North Carolina sent me an email, and she said, my sister is on eHarmony, and I'm the protective older sister, and I'm worried about her and everything. And she became interested in this man, and this is his profile. His name is Nelson, and Nelson he's a leasing consultant. His friends say he's personable, funny. He's always there when someone needs him. He's supportive. He loves making people smile. He's 5'11". He's an Omaha resident. And she said, then she also sent me his photo. And here's Nelson's photo. So it's me. And she said, I did
is that actually you, or is that an AI Murph? I don't know.
That's a young Murph.
That's a while ago. Yeah, that's a while ago.
I would guess 15 or 20 years ago. So this really thoughtful, protective older sister, she says, the photo was clearly a professional photo. And she said, I just became a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit concerned that it wasn't real and that this might be some catfishing going on here. And sooner or later, Nelson was going to ask for the money to go visit, as this is what is at stake here. Yeah. This is how this kind of thing happens. So she said, I did a reverse image search and it's you. And she said, you seem like you have a friendly face. And I just wanted you to know that somebody on eHarmony is setting up dates and trying to catfish women with your face. So I opened up a ticket at eHarmony to have this addressed. I sent them all the information and the screenshots and Nelson's connections and all this, but wow, that's kind of scary.
The first scary thing is that eHarmony is still a thing. That was like, wasn't that like the first dating app?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Is it Match.com? Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Match.com.
Match.com.
Yeah.
Is it a dating service now for older people?
I think it kind of was even when it was new. It was like that was the one that had the long, like, profile, really detailed profile. The ads would be like, we have the most success in placing people with the right people because we, they asked the most questions, and it was like a deep dive. It wasn't just a tiny little profile that just said, your hobbies and favorite color and
right,
what you're looking for. I mean, they like went way into it was like a psychoanalysis. But I think most people skipped it because it was too complicated. I'm surprised that it's still out there. But
when I first saw this, Andy, I thought Nelson 66. No way Nelson is trying to pass off his age as 66 with this photo, because I would guess this is my early 40s here from the photo. I can't tell. It's an old WHO 13 profile photo that must be up when you do a search, some kind of website search. But that's an old picture.
Yeah, more salt than pepper, but still some pepper in there.
Well, I went gray pretty darn early, but as Matt just showed, eHarmony is still calls itself the #1 dating site, and the photos they used in those pictures that Matt just showed were all young people hooking up, or hopefully happily married now. But also,
they want to make it look as good as possible. The guy's got an arm full of tats. See that? That makes it look like it's real contemporary.
Yeah, really edgy. He's got the long hair.
I don't know. Do people? I mean, it makes perfect sense that online dating would be huge now, or bigger now than it was back when eHarmony first started. But I remember it just having like this stigma of desperation, when it first came out. It was like somebody that was incapable of meeting women face to face. That was the slam.
It did have that stigma. Not the case now.
No, and it shouldn't have had that stigma then. I mean, people were online, and that's how they met. I mean, why is meeting online somehow less distinguished than meeting them when you're drunk at a bar, in a cloud of smoke, in dark lighting? I mean, that's a more authentic meeting? I mean, because that used to be the way people met primarily.
Yeah. And this some out there might think, well, what's the game here? What's the hook? Well, what you do is you have a lot of back and forth. You build up trust. Your hope is that a version of the Manti Te'o type thing, the way that played out, in that you actually think you're starting to be in a relationship, and at some point you're going to meet up for a great weekend and all of that, but something happens at the last minute, and hey, can you send me the money for the plane ticket? And then, when I get there, I'll pay you back and then some, and I'll take care of the hotel and all that stuff. It is, and from what I understand, they have like multiple lines out there fishing, and they're trying to make, 1,000 here, a few thousand here. And in the saddest situations, they like clean out somebody's savings because they've built up so much trust. And often they're preying on lonely older people, and it's terrible. I mean, I think you prosecute to the fullest extent on people like this. But I guess if there's a high out of this low I'm having, it's that it was A, great that this sister was looking out for her sister, and B, that she thought enough to take the time to let me know that somebody's using my photo out there.
I think I would be afraid that every part of the attempted contact was somehow a scam, that they were like, even answering the email from the sister would somehow pull you into an identity theft or something like that. I mean, because they are that complicated now. They are that sophisticated. I remember it must have been about 20 years ago, maybe a little more, and I got a series of emails from a woman in Russia, and which, like the first several, I was just like, okay, this is, they send these out to everybody. They're just trying to get somebody to respond. But then it went on, and it got really detailed, where I could tell that she was looking at me online, that she, from our TV website, and asking questions about Des Moines and that. And I think it was real. And I finally answered her and I was like, where did you get this information? I was just curious. What are you doing? And she just kind of explained. She was like, yeah, this is how we try to get out of Russia. And it was real broken English and stuff. But I mean, it sounded sad. And I didn't, ever establish any kind of real correspondence or anything. But the woman was like, I really want to drive the car. You teach me drive the car? And it was really sad. It was like she lived in like Ukraine or something and was really poor, and they just are trying to get an American husband or an American to bring them over here and get them out of there. Yeah, it was really kind of sad. And then, we watched that documentary, remember, a few years back where Oh my God. That was Ukraine, right? It wasn't all Ukraine. Oh, those really desperate guys, the American men went over there in buses and
you just want to you want to yell at them like, no, don't do it. What are you doing? Can't you see what's happening here?
And I think a few of them actually did get married and had happy lives together. It was just so weird because the guys were weirdos and had real problem, just truly were desperate cases. And the women, I mean, a lot of them were shysters, but I think every 10th one or whatever actually worked out.
Yeah, loneliness is really hard, and it if you're not lonely, as I'm not, it makes you really appreciate what you have. Let's get the buzz here on a Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Iowa State's Director of Athletics, Jamie Pollard, has a message for Cyclone fans traveling to Ireland. Matt, is Chris Williams already on his way?
Yeah, I think they are going through Atlanta over to Ireland today. So they should be arriving later this afternoon.
Yeah, which will be late at night there, I would guess.
Yeah, I think he said they're arriving and they're driving straight to Belfast. So Dublin to Belfast.
That's a long day of travel. It'll be worth it. They'll enjoy it. Chris's first time to Europe. But here's Director of Athletics Jamie Pollard on what to wear.
Wearing purple. We're going to be the away team. Our football team's going to be wearing white jerseys, cardinal pants, and cardinal helmets. What I'm asking all of you to do is when you pack for Ireland is to pack cardinal. When we play the game on Saturday, August 23rd in Aviva Stadium, I want all Cyclone fans to be wearing cardinal so that we can show how many Cyclone fans are there in force, because we know our guests, the K-State Wildcats, will be all in purple.
I think it's smart of Pollard to do this because there is confusion with Iowa State about what color to wear, unlike Kansas State. He's right. Kansas State is always dressed in purple. But with Iowa State, you do have to say, and this is going to be a highly watched game. I mean, it's the first game. It's a top 25 game. Everybody's ready for college football season. You want it to look like Cyclone fans showed up in Ireland. And, Andy, it's a smaller stadium.
Yeah, this is great, except, like, what the hell is Cardinal? I mean, Cardinal is – he couldn't be less specific if he just told fans to wear cloth. I mean, what is Cardinal?
Red.
There's five
red.
different – what shade of red?
Well, ideally
there have been five different shades at Iowa State. Okay, I mean, think about it. The St. Louis Cardinals have bright red.
Right.
Okay, they're the Cardinals, so you think that's – and they say that's Cardinal red. Stanford University, that's the Stanford Cardinal. The Stanford Cardinal.
Yep.
Based on the color. That's
based
not the same shade of red. Not the same shade of red. Darker red.
Well, I think Iowa State in these new uniforms, they have the Cardinal they should stick with. That's a good color. Because
that's a lighter red.
Yeah. Now, to your point,
the Iowa State one that's a darker red.
Yeah. At one point, Iowa State went so far in the darker red direction, it almost looked like Minnesota's colors.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they've had, like in the McCarney era, like a really bright red. But this red here is good. Matt, is there Is there a particular name for this red, or what would you say? You've seen all the reds.
This is almost like cherry red. I mean, the finish of the helmet really makes it kind of shine. This is technically cardinal red. So
okay,
that's like St. Louis Cardinal red.
Yeah, that is, and the official school colors are cardinal and gold. Mm-hmm. This should be the cardinal you use, right? I think that's close. It's just shinier.
Yeah, it is close, but there are subtle. You know what it's like, man. You go to an Iowa State game. There's 5 different shades, at least 5 different shades of red, and it's kind of a moving target. And I think some of it's kind of intentional, so you can keep selling new gear. They move it around, and then some of it is just kind of according to taste. Mm-hmm. Some people like it lighter and brighter. Some like it a little bit darker, and then. I think, does this have like a contrasting red piping around the outline around the numbers? I think it does.
The uniforms that they're wearing?
Yeah, so there's like 2 shades of red on the uniform.
This is from a previous photo shoot, I think, because they're not wearing the the whites. So
there is an outline. I love this that the school colors are actually in the uniform. You know, I don't mind. I realize the black uniforms and black and white uniforms are really popular, but put some school color piping somewhere on the uniform, please.
So they're wearing the white jerseys with the red pants and the red helmets. Okay,
yes,
that's a sharp look.
It will be a sharp look. And the photo that Matt showed of the photo shoot in Ireland, however long ago this was, shows you just how much of an upgrade this uniform is, because that jersey right there is bad.
Yeah,
like, don't wear that.
I don't like those numbers either.
Yeah, this is an upgrade.
RoboCop. Yeah,
I know we talk about uniform fashion way too much, but that's something that just happens. My friend Ryan, Iowa State graduate, Iowa State football season ticket holder, he wanted me to ask this question. So Cyclone fans, it comes from a Cyclone fan, and he said he spent quite a bit of time going back and forth on it, and he is going to Ireland. So the quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas and Ames in Urbandale, Cyclone fans, if you could only have one, you beat K-State in Ireland in what is a top 25 matchup and a conference game with a big audience watching, or you finally beat Iowa and Ames for the first time since 2011 in what has just been a near 15-year annoyance to Cyclone fans that they haven't been able to beat their rivals. Now, Ryan did come down on the side after going back and forth of beating K-State and Ireland, mainly because the winner of this game really moves into having, there's a lot of games left in front, but still, you're going to be considered a conference championship contender and somebody who could get to that game. You stay in the top 25. I think it is K-State and Ireland. But when you stop and think about how big that week becomes in the state of Iowa and how sick and tired you are of losing to your rivals and the fans that are at work with you, your neighbors, you hear about it everywhere. I mean, you can make a case, as 44% of the people so far have.
This is as balanced as this question has probably ever been. Even though Cyclone fans will always in public tell you that it's the conference game that somehow matters more. But deep down in their heart of hearts, spaces they don't talk about.
Spaces they don't talk about.
It's Iowa. We know it's, I mean.
So you believe that secretly.
I think in public, the K-State game matters more. These are 2 ranked teams. It's a national televised audience. It's a huge trip. Both these schools are putting a lot into this. It's a far bigger national stage.
It's a conference game
than the Cyhawk game. Well, it's a conference game, and it's not totally confined to one of the smallest states in America. I mean, it's a national game. It matters to an entire conference.
The Iowa State game the past 2 years in Ames, past 2 times in Ames, has had college game day. And Iowa's won both of those games, so that's a bigger spotlight this year.
Well, sometimes that just is because that's the college game day schedule doesn't have a better option. And it is fun to show that rivalry. But in the grand scheme, and sometimes the teams are ranked in that game too. I mean, they are. Yeah. But in the grand scheme, that never matters as much. It almost never matters as much as this first game does on the national scale. I mean, just whether it comes to just perception from it being the first game of the season or reality, which is two ranked teams in the Big 12 conference that both desperately want to win this game and start the season out well and get rolling and have an incredible season. It all starts with the first game, as we know. But I just think that, in public, on the national stage, yeah, you absolutely, I'll argue that the K-State game's better. But when it's up close and personal, you will not see the same type of joy, satisfaction, rejection, and heartache at the end of the K-State game as you will at the end of the Iowa game.
I think part of the narrative here with Cyclone fans, or part of the caution, is they do not want to feed the narrative at all that this is Iowa State's Super Bowl when they play
that's
Iowa.
Part of it too.
And if you vote for beat Iowa and Ames, you are adding to that narrative. Also, should point out the Big Noon, what's it called? Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Kickoff.
Big Noon Kickoff. That will be, so there will be a national spotlight. It's not College Game Day, but it's Fox's version of College Game Day. Matt, you're a Cyclone. Yeah. What do you think?
So this is like a head and a heart vote, right? Like the head would say K-State.
Yes.
Conference game, first game of the season, get the season off right. The heart says beat Iowa. And can I make the case for beat Iowa real quick?
Yes.
So if you lose to Kansas State, you come back, you have South Dakota, who is a pretty good opponent. You beat Iowa. So you lose to Kansas State, you beat South Dakota, you beat Iowa. Then you have Arkansas State, Arizona State, Cincinnati, and Colorado, all teams that are projected towards the bottom half of the conference. So realistically, you lose that first game, you could get right back on track with the win over Iowa and rattle off maybe 5 straight wins heading into a homecoming game against BYU and Ames. So I don't think it's the end of the world if they lose that game, but it's a head and a heart play for me.
It's an easier loss to excuse too. I mean,
yeah.
They're not in their home stadium. They're an underdog in this game. I mean, this team is ranked ahead of Iowa State. If you lose the game, if you play well and lose the game, it's not a bad loss. I mean, Iowa could end up being a good team this year. They could be ranked at the end of the year. They could be a good team too, but early on in the season, they're not going to be ranked, and they're in Ames, where you haven't been able to beat this team, and you know how awful that feels to walk out of your own stadium early and leave it to Hawkeye fans. My God, that is such pain to have to do that.
Yeah, we watched the Exodus last time we were there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man, and I feel for Cyclone fans when that happens, because they go in, they've been through this too many times to be cocky, but they've been feeling good at least, right? Really liking their chances. Then there are a number of these games that we've seen recently at Jack Trice Stadium. Iowa State has just not looked like they were ready to play Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa State has been better at Kinnick Stadium. They won there last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I still can't believe that happened after that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that took two things. That took Iowa State making great plays, and it took Iowa making head-scratching coaching decisions to allow Iowa State to get back in that game.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, when it's your home field and your field keeps getting better and your fan base keeps getting better and people are more excited than ever and they keep getting that same result in the home field, God, that hurts. It's hard to recover from that.
I think Matt said it well with the head and the heart, though, because one of the things that tilts this even more toward Kansas State being important is the path to the all-important college football playoff now is winning your conference. If you're a Big 12 team, that's probably the only way in. There might be an exception here and there. But last year, I mean, Iowa State is in the championship game, win that game, and you're in the college football playoff. So that is the way to get there, to find a way into that championship game and then be there. The NFL Today on CBS is going to celebrate its 50th anniversary this year. Now, it all started, this is going to be the logo, the NFL Today throwback. Andy, they're going to do an NFL Today program in 50-year-old style with, you know, the screen, like the picture will look 50 years ago, the audio, the instantly recognizable music, and it'll have the same host. Brent Musburger is going to host the NFL Today Throwback, and he's part of that. Gosh, it's hard for young people to understand how big and popular this show was. It's the most popular sports studio show of all time, even more than Inside the NBA. But it was Musburger, Phyllis George, Jimmy the Greek, and Irv Cross.
Well, are they going to wear the matching blazers again?
Oh, I don't know.
They do.
I hope so.
I hope they do. Yeah, that really kind of pulled it all together. Yeah, I mean, you know, and this was a completely different era, but, you know, this show was such a huge part of my childhood. It was such a, I mean, I would sit there with my dad, and, you know, friends from the neighborhood. We'd all be sitting around the one television, you know, and just quiet. I mean, my dad was probably, that was probably one of the things that he liked the best, is that it was something that, like, all the kids would shut up, and, you know, nobody's roughhousing around. Everybody's just watching the NFL Today, watching the games, watching the pregame show. And really, this was the time too where, you know, unless you stayed up until halftime during Monday Night Football, this is where you saw highlights of the other teams that you never got to see on TV as they previewed games.
I read the book on this. It was released last year. It's somewhere on one of the shelves behind me. And Marty mentions, "You're looking live," you know, that Brent Musburger would say, that famous expression. And in the book, it explains that was Musburger's way of telling all the sports gamblers across the country in bars and in homes that, like, when they would they would do that whip around where they'd go to each field. And if the snow was coming down hard and, you know, where the Cleveland Browns were playing, you would know that, oh, we have field conditions.
Yeah.
Because this was a day and age where you didn't know what the weather was like in Cleveland as you sat down for football that day. You didn't have a phone. You didn't have internet. This was how you found out what the weather was like. Like, oh, it's raining in Baltimore. You know, you would learn.
You couldn't pick up USA Today. It didn't exist.
Right. Yeah. So that's why he started that phrase.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you couldn't believe as a kid, and many people were offended by it, that Jimmy the Greek was just on there basically giving gambling picks.
Yeah, I was oblivious to all that as a kid. And my dad, he was always kind of laughing under his breath at Jimmy the Greek. And you were just like, what? Why is he on here? And Phyllis George, you know, you're like, why, as a kid, you're like, why is she on here? And now you look back and you're like, oh, I understand now. But it was just like this. It was an institution. It was part. It was part of Sunday.
Sure was. I also got to spend a little bit of time a couple of years ago at a conference with Jane Kennedy, and she was a really nice, lovely woman, but she had a tough job. She came in there after Phyllis George, who was so popular. And she came in there at a time, be hard for some of the younger people to imagine this, but where they couldn't believe that they were putting a black woman on this show, she was really a pioneer at that time. And she was quite good at interviews. And not surprisingly, she could get anybody to sit down and talk to her. She had a famous interview with Muhammad Ali, and she could get anyone to talk. And she was a good interviewer. She proved herself worthy of the position, because when you first get hired into that job, the thought that goes through most people's heads is, oh, she's only being hired for her looks. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and meanwhile, nobody had anything to say about the football players only being hired because they were former football players.
Right.
And some of them
were
a
double standard.
Terrible on the air. So many of them were terrible on the air. And then some of them were really good on the air, but they weren't great football players.
Right.
Like Tom Jackson, you would think was one of the best football players of all time. He wasn't. He was good. He was in the NFL, but he was a far bigger broadcaster than he was. Irv Cross, too. Yeah, bigger broadcaster than he was
great.
a player.
And Joe Montana wasn't good. and he was a great player.
Long list of play. O.J.
Yeah.
Simpson was terrible. Ahmad Rashad was a great player and really good broadcaster, but there were a whole bunch. I mean, there were a bunch of others that could do one, but not the other.
Bad loss for the Fever last night against the Wings. Worth mentioning here just because as Caitlin Clark missed her 21st game of the season with her third injury, ratings, as you'd expect, are now starting to crater. Football is coming into focus. It's only going to get worse if Caitlin doesn't get back on the court soon, and it does not appear as though she's close to returning. I know there were some hints that this would be the week she'd return, but she's not even back at practice yet. And this does make sense to me. After the third injury, you got to make sure she's 100%. You can't let her out there before she absolutely feels like she's back to where she was before these 3 injuries happened.
Yeah, they've shut her down completely, and she looked pretty spry on the sidelines last night, but she's not playing basketball. Right. But we said this is what needed to happen. She needed to be shut all the way down to get all the way healthy before the end of the season. And I don't know, maybe she doesn't make it back this season. At this point, I don't think we know. I mean, it would be terrible.
We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, you do want her completely healthy, at least for next year, if this year isn't going to work out. But, I mean, just watching the game last night as Paige Beckers is in the game, Paige Beckers by, many counts was, the second coming of Caitlin Clark. Do you feel the buzz around Paige Beckers?
No,
watching that game last night. I mean, not at
nowhere
all.
near the same.
No, it's like I almost forgot she was on the court, and she had 2 really good looks at the basket to put that game pretty much away for her team last night, and she missed both shots, and a couple of shots that I think Caitlin Clark makes. She doesn't have it. She does not have what Caitlin Clark has got. And I think it's whether it's, skills or just the it factor. But, yeah, it is sad. That was a bad loss last night. They didn't get a good look. They had enough time. They didn't get a good look at the basket. Doesn't seem like they had any options. But it seemed like the absolute scenario where you go to a Caitlin Clark if you've got her healthy on the floor, and they didn't.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell took the last shot. She scored 24 points. She's been great. That was a strange sequence. Needed to call the timeout sooner. Now here's Scott Sipker at the State Fair asking people if they're scared of robots.
At the fair, asking a burning question. Are you scared of the robots? I am terrified of AI. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, not really in favor for it. Well, they're going to not have any use for humans then. What are we for? Yeah, I can't tell what's real and what's not.
Are you guys scared of the robots?
No.
What do you think of AI?
I don't really have an opinion on it right now, honestly.
That's a wise move because the robots are listening. How do you feel about artificial intelligence taking over?
I don't know that I like that very well.
Have you seen that Megan Fox movie where she was a robot?
No, I have not. But a robot shaped like Megan Fox, I think I'd be in for.
ChatGPT's nice sometimes.
Ooh, have you had ChatGPT 5 yet? Have you tried that? You'll never have to write a paper ever again.
I don't know.
It's like a thought partner. If you're smart enough to ask the right question, you get a good answer.
I think we better get rid of them and then you go ahead with your job.
War between humans and robots.
And you know what? How many robots are going to eat the lobster roll?
I think it's a good thing how to write a paper about it, so I know a little bit, just a little bit.
So you had to write a paper. Does that mean you used AI to write the paper?
Maybe.
I agree with you. I think the robots are going to take over. I think America's going to be iRobot here soon.
Are you guys scared you're not going to have any jobs when you grow up?
No.
No.
Good way to end it.
Yeah, Scott's obsessed with AI.
He is.
He is. Maybe a little bit too much. All right, Andy, a quiz for you here. Or just a guess. It's not really a quiz, but from marathoners to Tour de France cyclist, Front Office Sports reports that endurance athletes are realizing the most optimal carb and energy solution isn't an expensive gel or a drink. It's something that many of us have in our kitchen cupboards. This isn't necessarily good for these people who make these expensive gels and energy drinks, because now these world-class endurance athletes are leaning on what?
Well, I was going to say chocolate milk, but that's not in your cabinet. You said cabinet.
Cabinet.
Almonds?
No. Something even more surprising, I think. It's something you can probably get on a stick at the state fair, right? Rice Krispie treats.
What?
Yeah. The athletes,
because of the sugar boost you get?
They have found the ingredients provides exactly what they're looking for in an energy boost while they're biking or running, and they're packing these in some cases even replacing some of their gels and energy packs, which cost a lot more than Rice Krispie treats, and you can't make at home. They're made in some lab somewhere.
Can I give you a fun fact?
Yeah, please.
Rice Krispies treats
Rice Krispies treats
were invented by an Iowa State alum, Mildred Day, back in 1928.
Nobody calls them Rice Krispies treats.
Right.
Nobody says that.
It's like Cracker Jack, right?
Yeah. They say, we're going to give me some Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, everybody adds the S to Cracker Jack, but it's actually Cracker Jack. This is the other way.
I do draw the line at like Aldi's or Penny's.
You do?
You're
yeah,
like, hey,
I mean, sorry,
I can use the real word there. But Rice Krispie treats. You know, it's funny when I was a kid. God, Jell-O and Rice Krispie treats. I really felt like those were a bigger part of the greater world than they ended up being. It's just really kid-centric.
They're disproportionately impactful in your childhood.
Yeah, they're easy to make, and they're really hard to screw up, really. So you just, you make them, you can make them ahead of time and bring them, and everybody's like, oh, yay. But then
Rice Krispie treats.
Rice Krispie treats. But then we started tweaking them, though, and making like the Scotcheroos with the peanut butter in them and the chocolate on top. Those took it to another level. Those are incredible.
I've heard there's a Scotcheroo shake at the state fair that's supposed to be.
It looks so good.
Instant diabetes.
I was there on Monday, and the line to get it was like 45 minutes. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I don't need it that bad.
We saw a couple of lines for some of the big new food items, and I was like, yeah, that's too much waiting.
Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy and readily available at the state fair or wherever you are in the state of Iowa and beyond. Confluence, where good things come together. Now, let's get some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Absolutely beautiful, perfect day to take the family out to Either Or's patio over there at 6222 Grand Avenue. Also, plenty of wonderful dining to be had inside the building as well. Only 5 days of the Iowa State Fair remaining.
Do you think Ed's ready?
Man, he has been... he was in the pork tent. It was like a pork pen last night. People were just walking by and looking at him like he was a zoo animal.
Don't feed the Ed Wilson.
People just sitting there just leaning on the fence looking at him like 2 inches away from his head.
He's by that grill, so he is extra hot. He's so good at that.
He's so good at it, yeah.
People are so excited to meet him. I know he does enjoy this. I'll bet by the end he's ready. He's ready to close it down.
And it's funny, he doesn't I don't think he doesn't have a monitor out there, right, with his weather graphics anymore.
I don't think so.
Does he have that? I think
he uses his phone. He's got some kind of app on his phone.
But he just looks at it real well before he starts, and then he just talks, and he's the best at doing that. But what, low 80s today, humidity not too bad. So if it's not a cloud in the sky, get out there right now.
Look out for Saturday.
Yeah, that's gonna be hot, and that's gonna be a busy day as well, but hot. Today's word of the day is textrovert.
Textrovert.
A textrovert. Yeah, everybody's going to know a textrovert. That is someone who is expressive and funny when they're texting, but shy in person. It freaks me out sometimes because you'll see these texts from somebody, and maybe it's somebody that you maybe it's somebody that's been watching the Murph and Andy show for a long time, and they'll send us comments there on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. We see those. They're like, oh man, these guys are so witty and seem like very outgoing people, and then you meet them in person, you realize they're kind of shy, and you're like, man, you don't come across in public the way you do via text.
You're a textrovert.
Yeah, we have a word for that now. It's a textrovert. I like that. A 31-year-old model in Miami who wears a corset 23 hours a day has squeezed her waist down to just 18 inches. Alira Avendando has spent more than $1 million on cosmetic procedures and is thought to have one of the smallest waistlines of any full-grown adult woman.
Vivian Lee in Gone with the Wind was reported to have had an 18-inch waist. It got a lot of attention in old Hollywood back in the day.
Yeah.
But it couldn't have been like this. That is just weird. Weird. Oh, no.
That's not photoshopped. That's her waist is really that small. Now it is caused, as you might imagine, it has caused her internal organs to shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her stomach is now in her chest. Her liver.
This is the same woman, Andy?
Yeah, same woman.
Okay, the face doesn't. This is like the Tom Brady statue. The head doesn't match the body.
I'm
it
sure.
looks like Michael Jackson's head.
Yeah.
Your stomach moved to her ass.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, her stomach is now in her chest. Her liver is next to her heart, and her spleen is in her shoe.
Jeez.
One of the most famous instruments in the history of music is up for sale through Sotheby's auction house.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Van Halen's 1982 Kramer with his trademark red, black, and white striped body, mismatched components, and cigarette burn in the headstock is expected to bring up to $3 million. Eddie played this extensively on tour from 1982 through 1984. It was later purchased by Mick Mars, who used it to record Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood album.
Wow.
So this has a lot of connections. Now, this guitar, though, is based on Eddie's original Frankenstein or Frankenstrat guitar from 1978. This is the original one right here. Different headstock here. This guitar's parts are even more mismatched. I mean, Eddie just literally built a guitar out of random parts that he liked better than others. He wanted like all the parts he liked best in one guitar, so he made it himself. This guitar is actually on display at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington.
Let me kind of jump in real quick, Andy. So my nephew Landon is just learning how to play guitar, and check out the guitar he's got.
Oh yeah, he's got an Eddie.
Yeah, check that out.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's such. I don't know how exactly he came up with the look for that guitar, for the body.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he was able to replicate it, and it now is one of the most identifiable patterns in certainly all of music. But I mean, you see that immediately, like there's Eddie Van Halen right there. You just see that. Cristiano Ronaldo and his longtime girlfriend Georgina Rodriguez are officially engaged. Ronaldo hasn't said anything yet to the media about the engagement, Murph, but he looks pretty happy about it.
I can't believe they took that beautiful man and made this statue.
The personal finance website Wallet Hub yesterday released its report on 2025 best states to live in. And to help Americans settle down to the best and most affordable place possible, Wallet Hub compared the 50 states across 51 key indicators of livability that range from housing costs and income growth to the education rate and the quality of hospitals. So we give you the top 20 states to live in America. Number 1, Massachusetts. Number 2, Idaho. Number 3, New Jersey. Number 4, Wisconsin. Number 5, Minnesota. Number 6, Florida. Number 7, New Hampshire, Utah, New York, and Pennsylvania round out the top 10. Number 11 is Wyoming, and then at 12 is Iowa. 12. Nebraska, don't hear from them until down to number 20. That's almost a top 10 finish for Iowa, but not quite.
We're number 12.
We're number 12.
Never been chanted.
Make the T-shirts, yeah. A homeless man in Brazil has become an internet sensation after completing an 8K road race in flip-flops, and he was drunk.
Oh, my goodness.
Now,
How in shape is this guy?
Well, I mean, he's pretty hardy. He lives outside all the time. While he couldn't keep pace with the field, he did finish the race, and he got a participation medal, despite not actually registering for the race. Video of him running the race went viral. Reporters went looking for him, and an outreach group has located him and is helping to try to get him off the streets.
That doesn't even seem possible. To run that far.
Watch the video.
Flip-flops.
I mean, watch the video. I'm glad Scott's not here. He'd just tell us it was, AI or something. Speaking of that, Scott isn't here to tell us this video isn't AI, so the hell with him. Let's head back to Britain for another live report with the campers on a holiday.
Hey, I'm Jenny, and today we're reporting from a UK campsite, and we're on a mission to find out what the British public get up to on camping holidays.
How did you sleep last night?
I slept okay, but when I woke up, I thought it had rained in, but it turned out my husband just hadn't put the lid back on his bottle of piss properly. Is your food nearly ready?
No, not yet. It's probably going to be about another 20 minutes. When I'm barbecuing, I like to make sure everything is burnt to fuck, so I know it's definitely cooked.
How are you finding camping?
It's not very inclusive, is it? I've had to buy a two-man tent and use guy ropes. Surely in this day and age, they should make them tents that come with they ropes.
Are you enjoying your camping trip?
Not really. It's wet, it's cold, I'm bored, and because you've got to supply your own toilet roll, now the whole campsite knows I'm going for a shit.
See, that's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
That's
real.
absolutely real.
Nobody
I think I've
here
met
is saying
some of
anything
those
different.
people.
Yeah, there you go. That's your more, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Andy. Interact on YouTube. You can email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it is Murph_Andy, and it is all powered by the cellular advantage. U.S. Cellular is now owned by T-Mobile, so cellular advantage customers like me and you now have access to T-Mobile's #1 ranked national network, and this is very important. I hope Jenny's listening. No limitations on data usage as you travel outside the U.S. So that's good. Also, T-Mobile customers don't have access to U.S. Cellular's top-ranked Iowa network. So right now, we have the best of both worlds. You have the top international plan with T-Mobile, and you have the best plan in Iowa with U.S. Cellular, all available through the cellular advantage. All right. Nice job with more today. Where are we now? Grimaldi's fan photos. Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com is where you send your fan photos, or as many people are doing this week, sending their Iowa Everywhere bus photos. This is from Tyler Humpher. He took the Iowa Everywhere bus from the fair back to the state capitol on Friday.
Love it.
Yeah. And Matt, doesn't he get a T-shirt?
Yeah, absolutely. If you tag us on social media, we're going to send you a T-shirt. Just how about you slide into our DMs and let us know your size and your address. And when AD's back, I mean, he's on vacation, but he'll get a big list when he gets back.
And he'll get those T-shirts out. Yeah, he's up at, Okoboji, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he's at
Okoboji
Okoboji this week, yeah.
All right. He's here. He's made it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody. Presented by P&P Small Engines.
Hey, Mike. Oh, not hearing him.
No,
I hear you. Oh, he's messing with us again. Jeez. Come on.
Oh, man. I'm telling you.
Have you been out to the state fair? Have you got to see Jeff, P&P Small Engines out there? I know he wants to get rid of everything so he didn't have to take it back to the store.
You didn't see me on the news last night?
I did not, no.
With my shirt off at the Leonard Skinner concert?
No, I'm glad I didn't see that.
We were running a little late, so I didn't get to see Jeff. And then, of course, he's gone by the time the concert's over, but he knows I love him.
Yeah, he does know that.
I stopped in to see him the other day,
Yeah?
and he'd already pieced out. He was too hot. He went back to the shop. But saw his son. They got a couple of big tents there. They have a lot of mowers there.
Yeah, it's their best deals of the year if you are out there and looking for a small engine. Our out-of-the-box movie this week is we're moving around to different cities in the United States of America. This week, it's Atlanta, and I'm going to reach way back to something many of you probably haven't seen, but it was great in its time. It was Burt Reynolds at his absolute best. It's called Sharky's Machine. This was a great thriller. I loved Sharky's Machine. This was Reynolds at his best. There's a really intriguing plot. It's a hard R. I don't remember what the name of the woman was, but she was...
Ooh, a good question.
She was terrific in this movie. Her name was Domino in the movie. I remember that because at one point her pimp was like, Domino. She was the best. But Sharky's Machine is really good. Do you remember this, Mike?
Oh, I remember it very well. And he plays kind of a flawed hero. And
yes,
what you weren't used to seeing him play that kind of a role. But yeah, that was a special movie.
I haven't seen this since I was a little kid, and I was definitely not supposed to be watching this movie. But when I did the Wikipedia search for movies set in Atlanta, and this one popped up, I knew immediately this was going to be Murph's choice. Good choice. So I need to go back and watch Sharky's Machine now as an adult.
Andy, movies in Atlanta.
I couldn't believe you guys didn't take this one, but I was happy to do it. Driving Miss Daisy is my choice. This movie was much maligned because it played into movie stereotypes, and it won Best Picture when Spike Lee wanted to do the right thing to win, and he got all pissed off about that. All that noise aside, this is an excellent story. It's a very good movie. It's two American absolute all-time powerhouse actors, both on the screen here. The great Jessica Tandy and the great Morgan Freeman, and playing off one another. And it is, it's a very interesting historical piece about, living in Atlanta really through the decades. It covers a long expanse of time. Miss Daisy is the mother of a very wealthy Atlanta businessman. She's a widow. She's a retired school teacher, needs somebody to drive her around. She can't drive anymore. Something's happened, or vision is bad or something. And so her son, Dan Aykroyd, hires Morgan Freeman, Hoke, to drive her around. And then they have really kind of a platonic but deep relationship over the years.
And they evolved just as
they
people
evolved.
did during those decades.
Yeah, absolutely. And, she is Jewish, so she's really, she is a victim of horrible discrimination and violence as well. I mean, there's one point where he drives her to her synagogue and it's been firebombed. And so, they have some commonalities, they have some major differences, but what they have also is a friendship, a real, true, deep friendship. And it's a very good movie. It's a very pleasing movie. It's something that you can watch with your kids as an educational piece, or with your parents as something you don't want to be embarrassed to watch with your parents. It's an excellent film.
Yeah, it's really a good movie. Did it not win Best Picture of the Year?
It did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. And Spike Lee was all mad because Do the Right Thing didn't win.
Yeah, and you can tell different stories. Spike Lee's story is about a very different time and place than some of the stories he tells. Then this doesn't make one more important than the other. This was also part of America, and the characters, as we mentioned, they do evolve over time. And Hoke, by the way, is a smart investor.
And they don't make it seem bad. They don't, it's not glorifying it by any means. It's a great, and Andy was right. It's just a great friendship.
Yeah. And it's not over the top. There's not something at the end that's not believable. They had a deep, meaningful friendship.
That doesn't turn into a steamy love affair or anything like that.
I think she's clearly happy to see him. And, he helps her with her cake or pie or whatever she's eating. It's a very nice scene. Good way to close. All right. Mike, what do you have out of Atlanta?
Out of Atlanta, I've got a movie that I think a lot of people didn't see because the title was horrible. And it was such a unique, really, really well-made movie that no one saw it coming. It's called Baby Driver. And it's from the opening scene to the very end. It is just, the music is great. The action is probably as high as you're going to see. I mean, there's a scene where he's driving in reverse that still kind of haunts me to this day. But it's a wonderful movie, and I don't think it got its fair share of box office.
I think it's good too, and for those who haven't watched it and are now going to watch it, it's also interesting that the entire movie is set in real time to the soundtrack. So when a song plays, the entire song plays as that scene goes, and then the next song picks up. That's kind of a gimmick, but when you're aware of it, it's interesting to see that play out. And I didn't know where it was going, and it's well done. Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Mike, you have some movies to catch up on here as Weapons dominated the box office, which is a great sign, by the way, because it's an original movie, and we need original movies to do well, so more of them get made.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson.
I'm having technical difficulties last week, and it's like, oh no, Murph wants to talk about Naked Gun 2. Oh, well, sorry. I assume you've seen it.
I have seen it.
We were both a little nervous going in. I mean, you're taking on a classic movie there, and there's no reason to worry, because I think Liam Neeson steps into this role so well.
He does.
And he plays the son of Leslie Nielsen's character. And the great bit at the beginning where they take all of these cops and they're, leaving for their shift, and they're all looking at their dads and, okay, watch over me today. And this poor black guy comes up and he looks at his dad, and it's OJ. And he's just like, no, not going to do it.
not going to do it. Yeah. Yeah. I was concerned about this too. It is not as funny to me as the original, but there are some big laughs in this. Some of it is way over the top, as you'd expect, but it's inside of an hour and a half. Liam Neeson is great. Pamela Anderson is surprisingly good in this movie, I think. And the comedies just aren't really made anymore. Seth MacFarlane is right. We need more light entertainment. We need to laugh more. Everything doesn't need to be serious. So I'm glad that this was made. And I did laugh at stuff like, so you did 15 years for man's laughter. That must have been a hell of a joke. And he's like, it was manslaughter.
So is it written like the Zucker brothers would write?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is, and I was glad there are some real un-PC stuff in it too. Like you think, are they going to do that because we had that period of time where everybody was scared to even make a joke that might offend someone, and there are some jokes in here undoubtedly going to offend some people.
I was happy to be offended. I mean, but the jokes, they come fast and furious. I mean, it's nonstop from beginning to end. And I would say 80-90% of them hit their mark.
All right, I'll go solid B+. What do you go?
I'm going to give it a solid A.
Wow, okay. So you really did love it.
It's like, I got to look back and see what I gave the first one, because I guarantee it didn't get an A.
Bad Guys 2.
Bad Guys 2 is a very weak version of Bad Guys 1. It's if you haven't seen it, it's animated cartoon characters, and they're all villains. And the first movie was really a lot of fun, and this movie is pretty much half as much fun as the first movie. So the first movie, I want to say it was an A or an A-. This one's a B-, and it's barely hanging on to that B.
Oh, okay. I'm interested to hear what you have to say next about Weapons, because Jake Brend, my son Cade, my son Colin, they all saw this and they all loved it. Like they said, this is like one of the great movies of the year.
Well, it's not only one of the great movies of the year, it's one of the great marketing events of the year. They told us nothing about this movie other than one word, weapons.
I still don't know anything about it.
Well, and you want to see it without knowing what it's about, but
okay.
Nobody said anything about it. There was no hints to what the story was even about. And essentially,
I don't think this picture gives you many hints either.
No, but this is the beginning of the movie. There's 17 third graders who in the middle of the night at like 2 or 2:15 in the morning all go running from their house. And the rest of the movie is, where were they going? Are they still there? Who did this? What happened? And it is about as intense as a movie you're going to want to see.
So you give this a good grade, it sounds like.
I gave it an A-, which in hindsight, is less than Naked Gun 2, but
yeah.
I might have to reconsider that one. But it's and I saw it in the IMAX. It was packed, which was surprising as well.
It's good,
but
though.
Holy cow, was it good.
Okay, Sketch. Sketch is another animated movie?
It's a movie about a kid's sketches that come to life and start to terrorize this group of children. It's a really good concept, but first off, it's too intense for little kids. And I don't know if it's going to hold the attention of the older kids. But it's really well done, but it's a little too much for the little kids. I mean, I spent the second half of the movie just looking around to see how many little kids were there. But it's a B-. It's it's not a great movie, but not a horrible movie.
That's a good week at the movies for Mr. Movie. What do we have coming up next week?
It's we're at that kind of in between fall and late summer period. Something called East of Wall, which is about a horse trainer dealing with life and grief. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You guys have seen that, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's coming. I don't know why. Nobody's told me why, but it's coming back to the floor. So
Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
And Iowa's own Michelle Monaghan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a good movie. That's an underrated movie.
Really good. If you haven't seen that movie, it's definitely worth a trip to the floor to see it. And then Denzel and Spike Lee. These guys have made a couple movies together. The Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, Inside Man. The new movie is called Highest to Lowest. Don't know anything about it. And
of the ones they've made together that you just listed, how would you rank them?
I would say Malcolm X was probably the highest. I didn't mention the Inside Man and He Got Game. Mo Better Blues, no, probably Inside Man.
That's
followed
good.
by He Got Game and then Mo Better Blues.
Okay. Well, those are
So
some good
we'll
movies.
see where this one fits into that scheme.
Yeah, I
next
don't know
week.
much about that. This explains why I saw Denzel Washington on Sports Center or somewhere on ESPN. He's out promoting a movie. That makes sense
Of
now.
course, yes.
All right, enjoy the movies, Mr. Movie.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Mr. Movie presented by P&P Small Engines, and time now with Matt Van Winkle's help for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto bringing us Throwdowns today. All right, guys, I got 3 questions for you. So Chris Williams is off to Ireland, but before he left, he gave us a brand new CW pod, giving us his favorite future plays for the college football season. Win totals for Iowa and Iowa State are both set at 7.5. Odds for both teams to make the playoff, Iowa State plus 980, Iowa plus 680. Both kind of long shots to make the playoff. If you had to put $20 on one of these teams to make the playoff, which one are you picking? Murph?
I would pick Iowa State because the path through the Big 12 conference is more realistic to the college football playoff than looking at Iowa's schedule, even with the toughest games in Kinnick Stadium and Iowa's always tough and capable of beating top 5 teams in Kinnick. They just have a tougher schedule to navigate, and I can't see them getting through all of that. I mean, Iowa State was in the game to go to the playoff last year.
Mm-hmm. I don't see either one of them going, but I can't add a whole lot to that. I agree with Murph. I would pick Iowa State if I had to pick one of the two.
All right, guys, I heard on Bigger Than 12 this week, Derek Duke said that we should get rid of the AP poll. What would be a better way of ranking teams to start the season besides having sports reporters who don't really watch all the games or know these teams at this point in the year? What should we do to rank these teams in the preseason, or should we rank them at all? What do you guys think, Andy?
I don't think that there is a better. Right. First of all, it just doesn't matter all that long. I mean, it's eventually replaced by the college football playoff rankings, and that's what we all care about. But for the time being, you want something to talk about. I don't want it replaced by some computer program that takes the human element out of it. I almost don't see how that's even possible, because you're making a projection based on a sum of all new parts in some cases, these completely reassembled teams with players moving around as much as they do now. It's speculation. I think we know it as a completely imperfect science, and therefore we don't put too much into it or, lose too much out of it when it doesn't work out our way.
Yeah, for the most part, we're just ranking the helmets and the brands and the coaches. And Andy's right. In this day and age, to even attempt to try to guess what Texas Tech is going to be like with all that NIL money and all the transfers coming in, you just don't know. You don't have any idea. I don't think there's a better way to do it. You should wait, like the college football playoff poll does, to 6 weeks or so into the season before you even have a ranking. But this is just for fun and to start to build excitement about the season. So I don't see it going away, but I don't take it seriously either.
All right, Andy, I know you've been out to the Iowa State Fair this year. Murph, you haven't been yet, have you?
Haven't been yet. Nope, going this weekend.
All right, guys, I'm giving you $40 when you walk into the fair. You get to pick one drink, one entree, and one dessert to spend that $40 on. Murph, what are you picking?
These are staples, and I'm sorry to not be more original, but I always get a corn dog, I always get a funnel cake, and I always get a cold beer from that 29-degree beer place, even though I'd say beer usually tastes closer to 39 degrees.
I'm going to go get a beer at the Iowa Craft Beer Tent. Probably it doesn't really matter. Pick something I haven't had before. I will wait in the line for that Scotcheroo shake. I've got that on the brain right now.
45 minutes.
Go early if you're the pro tip there. Just get that before lunch. The line after lunch is too long.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. I would figure out a way around it. And then, honestly, I had a whole bunch of different stuff when I was there the other day. A foot-long corn dog. You can't improve on that. And that's the only place you're going to get that. You're not going to get a foot-long corn dog after State Fair season.
A big boat of mustard. Yeah.
It's a ton of mustard on there. Yep. The question is, when do you take your hand and push the dog up the stick as you're eating it?
I saw a guy walking around the fair the other day with like ketchup and mustard just dripping off his corn dog. Like, that's the one time you can do that, right? Just let it drip everywhere. At the fair.
Right. Yeah, when you're outside on concrete.
If AD's paying attention, you're in trouble when it comes to Friday and unnecessary censorship. Now, the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. He's not here, but the AD Squared is.
AD Squared, presented by Game Day Men's Health. How many people on the Iowa Everywhere staff are at Game Day? Andy, I know you're there, right?
Almost all of them.
Yeah. I go to the one in West Des Moines, and I think Chad Leistico and I are the only ones that go to West Des Moines. The rest of it seems
AD,
like so many others.
Ankeny?
Yeah, they go up to Ankeny. We've all had really good results. We all like what it's done for us so far.
Yeah.
It's been a big, and if you want to just look at an example of somebody that's used testosterone replacement therapy the right way and to get the results, look at Chris Williams right now.
I'm thinking about getting on board here now that I'm on eHarmony.
Yeah.
Williams said he brought 2 tee shots with him to Ireland. I think Dr. Ashley's going to shoot him up. So she's the one to do that.
Yeah, she's gonna give it to him under his collar or on one of his paws.
All right, today's AD Squared actually is perfect, and I didn't even realize that Mr. Movie was reviewing Naked Gun. Andy, are you familiar with the Instagram channel There I Ruined It? Have you seen these?
No,
so it's a guy
I'm
that
almost
takes,
surprised. That sounds like something I would
check
follow.
it out. So this guy takes songs or movie clips, and essentially he ruins them. And Murph, Taken, the iconic quote from Liam Neeson in Taken, always reminds me of you because the iconic show open, right? With the Taken line.
Right.
So let's see how There I Ruined It ruined this scene.
I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you.
There it is.
Where do these people get this time?
Taken the musical.
Oh my gosh. And just it turns it into like just a nice, pleasant song you might sing at school. Wow. All right. Quickie poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
The Quickie poll today, supplied by our friend Ryan. Cyclone fans, if you could only have one, would you beat K-State? Thanks for that whirlpool sound there.
Yeah, that sounded good.
Beat K-State. Sounds like a wave machine. Beat K-State in Ireland or beat Iowa in Ames. 56% say they'd rather beat K-State in Ireland. 44% saying beat the Hawks.
2 big games in those first 3. Wow. We'll know a lot more about Iowa State after those 3 games. All right, Matt, thank you so much for filling in for Andrew today and for all your hard work. Andy, I'll see you in 15 minutes over in the WHO 13 newsroom. We hope to see the rest of you back here Friday. Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy on Iowa Everywhere. Get a chance, please like and subscribe. We're back Friday, and we hope you are too.